It takes nearly 45 kilograms of these snails to produce a single gram of pure Tyrian purple extract. To make the extract, Hussein must navigate a complex process, and it's this extensive labour that accounts for much of the final price. And the result? This single gram of dye that can fetch nearly $3,000. By comparison, 5 grams of a synthetic version sells for under $4. Tyrian purple can be used to dye clothes or create paints. In the ancient world, it was so rare that only royalty could afford to wear clothes dyed with it. Even today, at such an astronomical price, Tyrian purple pigment is mostly a collector's item. The part of the murex snail that contains the pigment is called the hyperbranchial gland. It's the only part of the snail used to make Tyrian purple. Each gland contains only a few drops of pigment.
Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Also, there's like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show. I seen this this little short, which you know, through spirit, always knew that purple was a hard color to get by, but I did not know how much it really costs in today's market. To get Tyrian purple dye costs $3,000. That's more than an ounce of gold. Gold right now in the U.S. is like, I seen it earlier, it was 1993. Probably went up because with this whole market going the way it is, gold prices are going up. You have you got purple that costs for number. You got frankincense and myrrh. You got precious stones that's higher than that too. Oud, which is a fragrance, is a wood fragrance that costs more. But it shows you that there's a lot of things that's out there that has high value. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. This is what she said at the end. This is in the ancient world that it was only that royalty can afford to get purple. All right. Only royalty, showing that purple always been a royal color. Okay. Because the hard work that it takes to get that particular color. Okay. That shows a lot. All right. And that's what also makes about the Punic War. I can't say the name right now. Carthage, where Hannibal Barca, which was North Africa, all right, where they could get all those snails that I was talking about around that coast. You see why the Romans tried to take over and cause that war. Where Hannibal had enough. All right, he said that the saying was that Hannibal's father made him swear that he would take the Roman Empire down. Obviously, he didn't do it because there wasn't that time. Well, that's where the Punic War thing comes from, and that's where this particular couple of scriptures shows you who's really running the world today. All right, so get the scripture, Luke 16:19. He said there was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple, showing that purple, all right, is royalty. That's a royal color. So the people that's in power right now, you could say that they have purple. I mean, not that they weren't showing that Edom is in power. It said in fine linen and frayed substantially every day. So they're not having want, none of need. They got everything that they need. They have, because what the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. That's the rulers, showing that who's in power. So the scripture says that when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. When the righteous bear fruit, the people rejoice. So the people of the world is not rejoicing, they're mourning. So this certain rich man, speaking of this parable that the Lord was talking about, was Esau. All right, Esau, Edom. The other one, Revelations 17. Revelation 17 and 4. 5. No, 4. I started at 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Sorry. So the woman is speaking of America. All right. And the 7 heads and the 10 horns is talking about NATO, the EU. The 7 heads is obviously Greece, Rome, Germania Minor, Major. You have France, Spain, and Britain. All right, that's 7, right? So that was the 7 heads. Obviously started with the Greeks, because when Esau came into power, he really came under the power of Alexander. They call him Alexander the Great. Okay, so that was theirs. The mountain that was them, and the 10 horns. You just have to add what? Was it 3 more? Today would be like Luxembourg or Denmark and some other place I can't remember right now. Forgive me. They'll come to me. But that's the NATO, the EU. And now NATO EU has, like 32 members. They was trying to put Ukraine into it, but Turkey so happened to block that Ukraine to join Ukraine and who else? Switzerland and somebody else to get into NATO. So, and a couple months later, and Turkey was planning to come out of NATO. Then a couple months later, which was like last month, an earthquake that rocked Turkey and Syria. So that beast, America's riding, and America's causing all this trouble around the world, riding this beast, because who's really the head of the NATO and the EU? America. All right. America's most troops in the NATO army is American. Okay, America is nothing but the war machine, so to speak. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple. Okay, so purple going back to what? Rulership. All right, royalty. That's who's running everything. That's who's running. This is why the Most High's eyes is towards America, Babylon the Great. All right, and the scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination, which that's a democracy. All right, their philosophy, having the world to pour out. How is it that America is, this side of the world, is telling other nations how to run their country of freedom and so forth? Now they spreading the LGBT all over the planet Earth and questioning countries that doesn't apply that, because that's that cup. Jeremiah 51:7 tells you that it had the whole world drunken of that cup. Because in order for you to do business with America, you have to, one, you have to deal with the dollar. 2, you have to deal with the philosophies that behind that. All right, you want to make business, the business trade with America, you have to, whatever philosophies that they want you to do. That means women over men. And now the alphabet community got to be promoted. If I'm not mistaken, I did a show on it. Ukraine is considering allowing LGBT transform that funny people into the military. So in case the other spouse dies, the other person can keep it. And it said that's to appease the Western world. All right. So that's that's the abominations that's in that cup. It says in the filthiness of her fornication. All right. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, because this is not a kingdom, this is a queendom. This is a place where they push the vibration of women first, women over men. All right. There's nothing manly about this place. While the world is being prepped, they said in one day that over 800,000 North Koreans joined the military. Just the fact alone that they could destroy America. All right. Well, in the flip side, America is concerned about gender. So emotions, how people make you feel, and so forth. So this place is prime for destruction, but the vibration is being pushed is a woman's vibration. It says an abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. And with the blood, and it's who are the saints? The saints are you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the saints of the Most High. All right? Matter of fact, real quick, to back that up. Psalms 50:5, it says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So who made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice? Israelites. All right. What's the other one? Psalms 148. Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord. So the saints of the Lord are his people. It's not the people what they say in the Catholic Church, the halo behind them and so forth. That's not the saints. The saints are the Lord's people. So what I mean by it was drunk by the blood of the saints. Because how was America established? It was established by the blood of the Native Americans and Native American Seminole Indians, all right, the Latino tribes and the Negro tribes. All right, America was established by blood. So this place is drunken off of the blood of our people. Okay, and that's the prime reason why there will be a World War III. Okay, because the Lord himself did not forget that. It says, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua, which that's the phase that we about to enter in. Okay, those that are gonna die for the name of Yahushua. All right, that's gonna get beheaded for Yahushua. That's gonna be here in America. America is gonna be saturated with royal blood, real royal blood. Okay, like Elder Gas said one time, and it's true. It said, Israelite blood is not cheap. That's the worst blood you could spill on the planet Earth. This is the centerpiece. This is the eye of the wrath of the Lord. It says, and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, because John saw the future. He saw how that we was going to be living. So imagine seeing in the hologram, what we consider a hologram now, envisioning cars, technology, the way it is, be able to do show on your palm of your hand, like the brother said, the elder brother Sabah said it true. It was ill because I didn't think about it. That we doing show like this. This is looking through light, looking through flame. All right, like there was a scene in Game of Thrones, and was it Stannis? Yeah, Stannis Baratheon, and the witch had him looking at the flame, and it took him a while, and he said, I see it. Well, guess what? We looking it through the flame. So this is something that John saw. It's like, wow, this he was seeing all this and seeing that woman, you know, seeing women today with dresses, and this dresses getting shorter and shorter with pants and bodies looking the way it is, inflated and fake. And you know, you look at, for that time, he was in shock. He was like, what? This is how it's going to turn out. It says, and the angel said unto me, wherefore doest thou marvel? Like, why are you marveling for? Because the glitz and the glamour, it may look good, but this thing is evil. This is an evil place. It says, and I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beasts that carry her, with which have the 7 heads and the 10 horns. All right. And so let me go to the next one. Right, this is spirit. Revelations 18 and 15. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her, which is talking about this place again. All right. The true meaning of revelation, which is apocalypto in the Greek, which means to reveal. It's the unveiling, the mystery that was hid to the world is unveiled, is unwrapped. And we know, according to all the laws that was passed, and prime example, when Trump was in office, what he wanted to do, he said, make America great again, right? Which was a slogan. It sounded all right for the idiots. But what was his main thing? Everything to be American made, right? But what Biden do, and all the other presidents before Trump, they sold everything out. So when they sold everything out, that was fulfilling the prophecy which I'm reading. It says, and the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. It says, and saying, alas, alas, that great city, which was clothed in fine linen, in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. So in 1 hour, all this great technology, all these great things that you could purchase in a fingertip. You could go through your device that shows the flame. You could decide to get something to eat, and you'll get somebody to get something for you to eat that night. You could purchase something instead of going down to the store. You could have somebody bring it to you. This is the good life, man. All right, America at one time was a first world country, but in 1 hour, the destruction of this land is gonna take place. Okay, it's gonna, like it says in matter of fact, let me get that real quick, and I'll come back to that. Isaiah 14:12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, which is not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about the elites, all right, Luciferians, the Illuminati, so to speak. Okay, matter of fact, I shouldn't go up. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna hit the point. It says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. So, same thing that applies to America is going to apply to these elites. They're going to be on top. They're going to be as gods. All right. As that has said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. Who are the stars of the Lord? All right. That's twofold. Figure they're going to be in space. All right. Also, the stars that sit above is the stars of the Lord, which is Israel. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, the sides of the north. And I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet that should be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right. So America is destined to be brought down. But the difference is, it speaks of in Revelations 15 and 16. I'm going to read it again. No, yeah, 16. And saying, alas, alas, that great city which was clothed in fine linen, purple. So it goes back to the royalty, the royal class, the rich, all right, and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. So in 1 hour took this place to be established, what, 1776? All right, May 1st, 1776. They'll say it was on July 4th, 1776, to be established as a country to whatever date that the Lord has. So that's less than 300 years gone. All right, in 1 hour, all that building, all that parade, all that pride gone in 1 hour. And what would cause such a thing? The nuclear missiles. All right, in 1 hour. It says, and every shipmaster, all the company, and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by the sea, stood far off, which also proves that everything is being shipped. And then a couple years ago, was it a couple years ago already? When they purposely halted goods from coming into America, it showed you what did that really show you? That everything, all goods come through via ship to the shores of America. All right, everything. And at that time, was it last year? I can't remember. But at that time, they was telling people about the Christmas gifts and all this other stuff that's going to be delays and so forth. And they refused to let certain things come in. All right, showing you that all goods don't come by plane; they come by ships, because that's the cheaper course. So many nations make good money off of this place. All right, but guess what? All that money, they were not gonna be concerned of the people. They're concerned about the finances, the backing. All right, it says, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? So proving that this place is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. The smoke is going to be what the whole entire world is going to see. The world is going to know that this place is going to be destroyed. The world is literally going to know, because the earth is going to be rocked to and fro. So this once prominent land of greatness, of great things, eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day. People living prosperous. You could take a bite of something, throw it away with no concern. All that to days of hardship, days of civil unrest, days of great oppression, days of insurrection, and so forth, until that final nail in the coffin, which is those thermonuclear destruction. All right, it says, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich in all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costly. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. So it shows you that the commerce is business. All these countries are making trillions of dollars off of this bitch, because this is a great consuming nation. Verse 20 says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. So that's what it's all about. It's about the blood that was shed. And the blood was costly. It was so costly that it condemned this place from the very beginning. All right. Finally, justice is going to be served on this bitch that was sitting nice and lovely. It says 21, and a stone, sorry, and then mighty angels took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And that is speaking of 200 million missiles. All right, it don't have to be the missiles; it could be the warheads that's gonna be raining on America. The true lake of fire. All right, is gonna come down as a stone on this place, a heavy burden. And what's so great about a millstone? It grinds something down to powder. But this ain't a great millstone, which is spiritual, because we're spiritually grinding this place down. All right, but that's gonna be the physical final grind. And it says, in the voice of harpers and musicians and pipers and trumpers, and shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman in whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived, which proves that this place is the capital of all witchcraft, the highest level of witchcraft. All right. Yeah, they say certain spots in there's some spots in England, but this is the prominent place where all enchantments, all sorceries. All right. What proves it is America's philosophies. You can't do certain things without the way America's doing it. All right. That's one hell of a deception. Okay. Verse 24, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of the saints of all that were slain upon the earth. Because this is the bulk where all of the Israelites are. So the Lord is going to destroy this place. He's going to roll this mountain from its high hill and bring it down to hell where it's supposed to be. So with that being said, I hope you brothers was edified. Something real quick to the spirit. Shalom.